Welcome to Control System Lab, experiment number 10. According to your syllabus, you have two experiments in this experiment 10. These two sub-experiments are to examine the relationship between open loop frequency response and stability, and open loop frequency response and closed loop transient response. And the second experiment or the second sub-experiment is to study the effect of the open loop gain on transient response of closed loop system using root locus. Okay, so we are going to uh, do these experiments here in this class. So before that, we will go to the our lab manual and see the details of the experiment. So in the lab manual, you can see the first experiment is using the experiment 10A is using MATLAB to examine the relationship between open loop frequency response and stability, open loop frequency and closed loop transient response. Okay, so the codes are simple. Here it is started with a command called clear. Clear and clear all are exactly the same. There is a slight difference. We are not going to deal into that. Most of the time the clear is it clears all the previous variables. Then you'll go to a CLC, that is it clears the screen, and then again we are using this command that tells that we are using s as a Laplace variable. Now here we are using these commands as input. We are writing L equal to input, within quotes enter the inductance of RLC circuit, close quotes, and close the bracket. Now what this input is a command that wants an input from the user. So when you run the MATLAB command, the MATLAB will ask the user, that is you, to give a particular value, and whatever value you will provide, that will be transferred to this variable L. So if why do you require, now if you want a program that is user controlled, maybe not you are maybe not you but someone else will provide some value, then you can use this command input, and you can say please enter the inductance value of RLC network, and whatever value that user will enter will be transferred to the variable L. Similarly, we're going to find out, we are going to transfer the variables value to value of capacitance by the same method, and then we will calculate the omega n as 1 by square root of L into C. The zeta value is also is taken from the user. This these codes here are just for the sake of practice. You can directly you can write L equal to some value, C equal to some value, and zeta equal to some value. You need not write these. This is just to practice and give you a different uh, the different feel of this MATLAB program. Okay, from here you then you will go to r equal to 2 into zeta omega n into L. Now you can see there is no quote semicolon after this. That means the value of r is calculated and will be shown on the command window. Okay, then the transfer function is been modeled here using the s variable. We have already defined the s variable as a Laplace variable. So we write TF as the open loop transfer function. Then we find the body of this open loop transfer function, and then we write this command of hold on. That means the figure window will contain the body of the transfer function, and it will hold, because if we not use hold on, the next transfer function is we are creating is TF1. This is the closed loop transfer function. Okay, and the body of TF1 is also been written after that. If we do not write hold on, directly body of TF1 will be shown, because body of TF, after just showing body of TF1 will be shown, and the MATLAB will show it so fast that you will not see body of TF. You can use a command called pause, or you can write, or you can uh, write this hold on. What is the use of hold on is that this body of TF1 will be plotted on the body of TF. Okay, so you can see the two graphs together, and then you type in grid on to make the grid appear on the graph. Okay, the next command is legend. So legend, you have tf dash open loop comma tf2 dash close loop. What it means is that legend, you have two graphs. In order to understand which graph is for what, you need to have a legend, that is a box on the right hand side corner of a graph you might have seen. Those legend, the first, uh, what is the first graph and what is the second graph, it is written here, that you can write it, or whatever you write inside the code, that will be printed there. So here it is written TF, it is open loop, and TF2 it is for the closed loop. So for the first graph it will show the open loop, it will denote it as an open loop, and the second it will denote as a closed loop. So let us go to MATLAB and check for ourselves. Now in the MATLAB program, the written are exactly the same. You have written this legend, same as we have described previously. We'll just run the program. Make sure you have saved the program. Now after you're running, you can see the command window. It is asking me for a value of the inductance for RLC. Let us give an inductance of 1 millihenry. So I'll type in 1 e minus 3. Okay, e MATLAB takes it as 10 to the power. So 1 e minus 3 is 1 into 10 to the power minus 3. I press enter. It is asking me for the capacitance. I'll give it as, so let's say 1 microfarad. So 1 e minus 6. Okay, now it is asking me for the damping factor zeta, let it be let it be 0.2. Okay, so I press enter. Okay, it tells you this is my value of R. Okay, then the MATLAB will show me the Bode plot. So here you can see the two Bode plots are plotted together. The blue one is showing as an open loop transfer function, and the red one is the Bode plot of the closed loop transfer function. So you can see for the difference between the open loop and the closed loop transfer function. Okay, so this is the first experiment. So going to the next experiment, it is using MATLAB to study the effect of addition of closed loop poles and zeros on the closed loop transient response. So the codes remain the same. Again, we are going to ask for the RLC series, for the L and the C in the RLC circuit. Here the RLC circuit is used just because the RLC circuit gives you a second order response. It is basically, you can use any second order system. Okay, then we find out the omega n, and we can get the input of zeta from the user, and you can decide for the R from the values of zeta and omega n. Then again we find this is the closed loop open loop transfer function. Then you find the body of the of that open loop transfer function. Then we type in hold on to hold on the graph, and to put the other graph on this graph so that we can compare it. So we have three instances. We are creating three different transfer function, one with the addition of pole at s equal to zero point 0.5. So you can see the closed loop transfer function, the denominator you have an pole of 0.5, and we call it as the transfer function, we are naming it as tf1. So you are typing Bode of tf1. Again, now we are going for the next transfer function tf2 by adding a 0 at s equal to 0.025. So you can see a 0 is being added as s equal s plus 0.025. Again, in addition of pole of both pole of zero point 0.5 and 0, so we have this next transfer function tf3, which contain both a 0 and a pole. Okay, and again Bode of the tf3 is pin type, so that we can get a comparison of Bode of tf, Bode of tf1, Bode of tf2, Bode of tf3. And since the hold on command is there, all the uh, all the figures is seen on a same window. Okay, now after adding the grid on, you can write the legend. The legend will tell you which one graph refers to what. Okay, so let us go to the MATLAB and check for ourselves. So for the next experiment, the experiment 2, the we are using this tf1, tf2, tf1, tf2 and tf3. Okay, so let us run the program and enter the inductance of RLC circuit. Just as the previous case, we will introduce 1 millihenry. So 1 e minus 3, press enter. For the C 1 microfarad, 1 e minus 6, press enter. Damping factor, let's say 0.2. Okay, we press enter. So R is 12.6, that we got it from the previous graph. Then here we get the comparative Bode plots of all the system. You can see the blue one is a TF, that is open loop transfer function. Okay, now for the the violet one is TF3, that is having both poles and zeros. Okay, so when we have a pole, the Bode plot dips down, and when you have a 0, the Bode will dip up. Okay, so when you have both zeros and pole, it goes to the middle path. So you can have a comparative idea of how the introduction of poles and zeros affect the Bode plot. Okay, so this is the end of the 10th experiment. Thank you.